Hello, and welcome back to another vlog. I can't zoom out any farther than that, apparently, so I'll just back up because I feel too close. So this was not how I intended to start this vlog, but I feel like I have to address the elephant in the room because you're going to see it going forward in this video. So this is my arm. And it's really, I'm really butthurt about it because Lena hasn't attacked me at all in years at this point. When she was younger, she had a lot of sort of issues. I'm tempted to call them aggression, but really I think a lot of it was misplaced sort of play aggression, so I started playing with her a ton, and, you know, it kind of went down, and the last couple of years, as she's gotten older, I haven't had to play with her as much, but last night I was getting into bed, and I was, you know, she was laying beside me, and I was trying to get my legs under the sheets, because my bed wasn't made during the day. I hadn't done that, and they were all kind of crumpled, and I was, like, trying to get the sheets, and she just, like, completely jumped at me and grabbed my arm and tried to bunny kick. And let me tell you, she has grabbed me a couple of times over the last however many years. She has not grabbed me so hard before. Like I'm talking full force, like vice grip she had me. I don't know why. I don't know why her Jekyll took over and where Mr. Hyde went, but, like, she had me. And fortunately, I'm a cooler head in a crisis. It's like something intense happens, and I just completely mellow out. So I was trying to, like, pull her off me, and the frustrating thing is I was laying down in bed, so I didn't even have the advantage of any sort of height, and we're about the same length. So I am stronger than her, but we're the same size. So it was kind of difficult. So I finally peeled her off me, and then I tried to push her off my bed, but she stuck her claws into the sheet, so I couldn't get her off, and that sort of gave her the chance to grab me a second time, but I was kind of ready for it, so she didn't get me as good the second time as she did the first time. But then after that second time, I just kind of scruffed her and held her head down until I felt her body kind of chill, and then she just kind of stayed there, and then I called my younger sibling down, and I had them get me the alcohol so I could do my best to disinfect whatever I could. This one hurts, but I think this one only hurts because this is, like, such a movable muscle, and I think this is where one of her teeth might have been. But it's not very deep. Like, none of these are particularly deep. They're just hideous. So when you see my arm in various stages of healing during this video, or you're wondering why I'm going out and wearing long sleeves, that's why, because Lena attacked me. Unprovoked. Again, it was probably just misplaced play aggression, because I haven't been playing with her because she doesn't want to play anymore now that she's older. Like, I can't do anything that seems to keep her attention. But I guess I'll have to find something new. So anyway, that aside, today is Friday, March 25th, and that means today's the day that I get to take the lavender out of the fridge. I'm very excited. So the instructions for the lavender seeds, let me just grab them. That makes life way easier if I just grab them. I made this little bag for my seeds and for my small garden tools. Okay. So the seeds, the lavender seeds, are one of these ones, bergamot, I think it's this one? Yeah, dwarf, Munstead, lavender. Okay. So the instructions on the back say growing. No, it says start indoors 6 to 8 weeks before transplanting, or so in early spring when light frost is still possible. Lavender can also be sown directly in the fall. Blah, 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 blah. Indoors, barely cover seed in a moistened growing medium and place in a plastic bag. Refrigerate for 4 to 6 weeks. Then store in a cool place at 12 to 18 degrees centimeters? 12 to 18 degrees Celsius, which is 55 to 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Germination may take 15 to 90 days. Growing. Lavender requires full sun and well-drained fertile soil, although plants will survive in partial shade if the soil drains well. So, grow in the fridge for 4 to 6 weeks. So today marks exactly 5 weeks since I put it in the fridge. So we're going to get it out. The problem is I really want to put it in a spot that has a ton of light, but it also says it needs to be sort of cool. So that's difficult because most of my plant light doesn't generate a ton of heat, but I'm sure it generates some heat. And I am nervous about this because this is the only lavender that I have, because I had to put it in the fridge. I didn't want to take up a ton of space in the family fridge with a plant pot. So I really hope it works. In theory, I'd love to put it on the windowsill because I know it's cool up there. Maybe if I put it on this shelf... You can't see what I'm talking about. Let me turn the other way. Hold on. Maybe if I put it on the shelf, like here, ish, one of these, because, like, particularly this one would be ideal, because this way it's getting the plant light, but it's not close enough to the heater that I think it'll affect it. My room tends to be pretty chilly anyway. I don't know, I just don't think it's particularly warm over there. So... But I would hate to go through all this thing of having this seed in the fridge for 5 weeks and then it not growing. Hey, Lena. Or should I say Lizzie? Lizzie Borden. Remember when you decided on a casual Thursday night that slicing your mom up was a really good idea? Remember when you decided? You're not even paying attention to me, you're just continuing with your bath. Oh, look at that. That's a face that's going to attack me again. What is wrong with you? Maybe we'll go see Charlie. Charlie. Hi, Bebe. Oh, instant purrs. What a good boy you are. Alright, it's time. I'm very excited. We're gonna get, after 5 long weeks, right up here by the sour cream. Oof. Is my lavender. Beautiful. The lighting in the kitchen is always so nice. So I put this elastic band around it so that when it inevitably got knocked over in the fridge, nothing would spill out. Elastic band. Doesn't smell like anything, don't worry. I kind of had this fear that it was going to smell like hot dogs. So, that's 5 minutes in the fridge. So we're going to go put it in a slightly warmer situation. But I heard that lavender needs bright light to grow. So, like, where is bright but also cold? But we're kind of in like a cold spell right now, so maybe it'll be fine. Like, what if I put it here? It's not particularly warm up here. But then I'm worried if I... Oh, it actually fits in. I didn't think it would. No, I want it up higher than that. I want to be able to see it. Like, what if I just put it there? Because I'm afraid if I put it on this shelf, it's too close to the mug warmer and it'll be too warm. So maybe just here. So mark that on your calendars. March 25th, we put this here. But it says it might take up to 90 days to sprout. And that's 3 months. So I have no idea if it'll sprout. But we're basically just going to leave this here. 3 months from March 25th is April 25th, May 25th, June 25th. So if I have nothing sprouted by July, then this goes in the garbage. But, God, that sounds so far away. Oh, look, the leaf is unfurling finally. Cute. Okay, lavender out. I really hate this time of day because it's like 3 p.m. and I still have work I want to do and I still have things I want to do. Like, me as a me, I'm still awake and I'm still with it, but like the factors in my brain are like not chugging properly. Like, I just read a press release that said something was opening after 2 years of being closed and it opens April 4th. But my brain kept reading it as March 4th. Well, that already happened. But like, no, it says April 4th. But like, my brain just doesn't want to register. And that's when I get frustrated because I still want to do things. And I just can't seem to do it. And when I do it, I save it for the next morning so that fresher brained Abby can read over it. If you have any kind of remedy for this sort of brain fog that happens in the early afternoon, please share it with me because I need it. I'm struggling over here. So what I've done, sort of in spite of my brain fog, was I repotted my, can you even see it? My croton. It's on the plant stand here. It's now in a black pot instead of terracotta because it had a little bit of a wider base and I wanted more room for the roots to grow. The roots used to be really like luscious and big on the bottom, and then one time I knocked it over when it was in the terracotta and they all I guess it was really dry because they crumbled like dry ramen noodles. So I'm hoping in this pot, because it's a little bit heavy, it's heavy for me to pick up, I'm A, going to be less likely to knock it over, and B, it'll have a little more space to grow. And also, it hasn't ever really had fresh soil. I've had that plant for probably summer 2019, so 3 years almost, and it's been in the same dirt the whole time. So I did use a lot of the same dirt still because it was still good, but I added some of my dirt mix in as well, especially because the pot was bigger. So I'm hoping fresh dirt will help refresh it and maybe revitalize it or whatever as well. So I'm hoping things are okay with that plant because I did just repot it. I'm also doing some little waterings like this Ficus dorado that lives on top of Roger's tank. It needed a little bit of water. I watered the little spider plant. I am trying to do a little bit of watering. Oh, I forgot to tell you. I was going to vlog it, but I didn't really know how without it being weird. But this weekend, I just saw something weird happen on my computer. Oh well, this weekend I attended the reopening, if you will, of our local horticultural society, and I decided to join it. They only meet 3 times a year, and they have guest speakers and stuff come and talk about plants, and I thought it was really interesting, and I really enjoyed it. And there was I was the youngest person there by probably 50 years. Maybe not 50 years, but pretty close to it, and it was quite fun. I just always, I don't know, I'm an old person in my heart, and I just like them better. So I just chatted with them. I did a little story on it, so I was kind of going for work, but I was also going for fun. So I was going to vlog that. And then I went to the plant store after that, and I had a really awful time. Not because the employees are great, but there was this one. It's a very small plant store, the one that's downtown. And there was this guy there, and he just had the worst attitude. He had both of the employees, there's only 2 employees in this one, that's how small it is. He had them both running around the store, helping him pick plants. He was buying a couple of giant plants and he was trying to find the right pot. So instead of just picking a pot, he was having them lift up this massive fiddly fig and sit it in the various pots so he could see how it looked. And it was just I don't know, I just don't like the audacity of this guy co-opting this whole plant store, all of the employees, for all this time and having a gross attitude about it too. Not fun. Did not like that. I went in there and I almost immediately left. It might actually be the first time I've ever gone in there and left without buying anything. And I probably would have bought something if all the employees hadn't been busy. So then after that, what did I do? I went to the mall to get Starbucks. And I think I went to the Walmart. Yes, I did go to the Walmart because I had to buy a gift bag for my sister's present. And then I came home. So it wasn't really that exciting. The Horticultural Society was more exciting. I wish you could have seen the talk. It was interesting, the guy talking about what you can plant together, what you shouldn't plant together. It was a very vegetable garden-based talk, so not so much for me, for people who can get on the ground, not for me. But it was still fun. It was still exciting, and I liked it, and I hope at some point they do a houseplant talk, because that would be more for me. When I signed up to join the horticultural club, there was a thing that you could check off if you were interested in a leadership role or not, and I did not check it off, meaning I do not want a leadership role. Somehow I feel like I'm going to end up with one. I had that feeling, because I always end up in the leadership roles. This is what happens when you're annoying and you're loud. You just end up in charge of things. It's not my fault that I'm always right. Okay, so I'm going to shut you off now so that I can go back to attempting to do my job. You see this? This is why I watch horror movies, okay? Jason, he doesn't do this. Michael, he doesn't do this, okay? When Marnie was there, okay, she does this. I've never seen this one before. It was very good, but I didn't cry at the very end. And I knew what was going to happen. I could see it. It was so clear. And still, this is just who I am. This is why I watch horror movies. Do you see these two? They have flipped Lena's bowl off the tray, trying to get around it to see if there's any more possible food. Absolutely just on top of each other, doing the most. They're finding whatever little scraps they can find. Like, what are they doing? Nikki! Zoe, you're Nikki! Look at Zoe Bear! Come here. No, not you, Maddie. Zoe, come here! I want to pet you because you're Nikki. No, you're just going to sit there and sulk? Okay. You guys know you all have your own moms, right? Like, you all have someone that feeds you dinner. Lena's food isn't the only food source. There are other places you can go. You don't have to just sit here and stare at her. Hey friends, I accidentally abandoned this blog, but I'm coming back to it. To show you some stuff. First of all, I re-bleached my roots like not even a week ago, and you can already see the tiniest little bit of regrowth. But that's okay. I really need to redo the black, but redoing the black is always scary, especially when the front pieces look nice, because it's like, if I get black dye on this, it's never coming off, you know? I didn't really come here to tell you anything in particular. I just wanted to restart the blog. I bought a philodendron silver sword at a little store, and it was just one big vine. So I cut it up, and I put all the propagations into water. And then when Alyssa and I went to Michael's the other day, I bought a new propagation station. I'll show it to you. And I transferred the cuttings from the Starbucks container they were in into this one in the middle. So this is my new little propagation station. Isn't it cute? Michael's, it was like 40% off their spring stuff. So these are all my propagations. And so these are the silver sword cuttings, and they're actually like rooting. But I left this one leaf in the pot because I was kind of like, well, this is the bottom leaf. It's damaged, but it has roots, so we'll just leave it and we'll pot them all together. And then when I put them in there and I thought it looked cute, I was like, well, maybe I'll just unpot this singular leaf and put it in there too. And then I went to do that, and I noticed, look at all the little growth points. I've never had that happen before when I chopped a plant back. Usually it just, I don't know. I've never had little growth points from the bottom of a plant before, but that's 4 growth points. So there's, this leaf is damaged, so I'm sure it'll die off eventually, but there's 3 big, nice leaves rooting up over there. There's 4 growth points there. And I think I maybe even have 2 or 3 silver sword nodes in my prop boxes. So what was once one singular vine might be quite nice by the time I'm done with it. Now, as far as the rest of my plant stuff, here's what I'm going to show you. Okay. I'm struggling with this alocasia and this calathea because I really just want to throw them out. Like, this alocasia here only has 1 leaf and it's dying, and it just looks so shriveled. Like, I think I just dried it out too much. But it still has this 1 leaf, so I don't want to throw it out because that feels awful. And then this calathea I've had for years, but it really genuinely looks like shit. And it's not like it's a rare plant, like I can just buy a new one, but it's not totally dead, so I feel bad throwing it out, and I don't know what to do. I'm conflicted. What do you think? Should I just throw it out? Like, it really looks, like, look at these crispy leaves. It's got, if I cut all the crispy leaves off too, then it'd only have like 3 leaves left. I don't know what to do. But my Monstera is doing so well. Look at her new leaf. I hope it unfurls soon. I want to see it. I bought a lavender plant. I even have some lavender drying on this tray up here. I wonder if I could show you. Am I tall enough? Yeah, you can kind of see that. There's some lavender drying up there. We're going to see what we can do. I'm also thinking about getting rid of this singular vine. It's just never done well for me. I want to get rid of plants that don't spark joy so that I can only have plants that do spark joy, So yeah, that's what's going on over here. I also was on the Instagrams, as you know, and I found a store that is a small business in Ontario. They're in I think they're in St. Thomas, so they're not particularly close to me. But, I mean, a small business in the same province as me is close in the grand scheme. And they're called Purely Wicked, and they're like a witchy store. And so I did an order, and it was maybe one of the most expensive online orders I've ever done. It was like $200, but I got some really cool things, and I want to show them to you. In particular, I want to show you the candle I bought and the shirt I bought. I gotta go get the shirt. Hold on. Look at this. Look at this candle. Like, it smells so strongly. It smells delicious. It was also very expensive. This candle was like $65. But you can tell it's handmade. It's got a crystal. It's got all these dried flowers. It smells delicious. And this cauldron, like, I'm going to be able to... The cauldron's not going to go away. It's not wax. So I'll still have the cauldron after, too. And it came with a lid. So, like... I don't know. It's not the kind of thing I'm going to buy all the time. But I definitely don't regret buying it this one time. And then the shirt... Moon's out, brooms out. Look at this shirt. I'm just obsessed with it. Like, it's probably going to be a pajama shirt because a lot of my pajama shirts are, like, falling apart and stained and that sort of thing. But moon's out, brooms out. I just think it's so cute. I also bought a sports bra and, like, cute little workout tights that are going to be just pants for me. I'm very excited about things today. Just today. Not all the time. I'm also watching the Bondi Vet 24-hour stream. Sometimes I just open it. I've seen most of them already, so it's fine. This lighting really makes this side of my hair look white and this side look blonde. But I promise you, they're the same color on both sides. I think that was all I wanted to tell you at this particular moment in time. Was there anything else? I really wanted to show you the Silver Sword growth points because that is so exciting to me. It had none when I bought it. Just the big long vine. I cut them up. I put them in the prop box. I mean, you know what I mean. I put the nodes in the prop box. I put the lotion on its skin. Or else it gets the hose again. Blah. Should we check the prop box? Maybe we'll check. Okay. Hold on, let me get the prop box. Okay, so this is one of the little lunch boxes I bought from Dollarama. So we're just going to check on these. I think these are all philodendron micans in here. Look at this one. We got a new growth point. We got roots. I don't want to disturb them too much. This one is growing a tiny little growth point. But no roots. This one has a root. That's fun. This one has done nothing. That's fun. Why do these all have little growth points and no roots? That doesn't make any sense. This one has done nothing. This one has rooted into the sphagnum moss. That whole root goes all the way through. There we go. Look at roots and a new little growth point. And then I threw, okay, so whatever this was, it rotted. So we'll just take her out. These are some of my silver sword cuttings. I was wondering why this one was pink, but it's because I threw it in rooting hormone because I didn't think it would do anything. But it actually does look like it's putting out some roots, so we're just going to put that back. I also did that with this one. It kind of looks like it's putting out some stuff, too. What about the ones down here? Oh, man. Look at this guy. I can tell which ones are the silver swords because the stem is so chunky. Who is this? Well, he's rotting, so we'll take him out, too. Is there anyone else rotting down here? Yep, you're rotting. That's sad. So some of my little wet sticks, even the really tiny one that I put in here, that I stuck in rooting hormone first, just kind of as an experiment because I hadn't done it like this before. They're actually not doing horrifically. And then you have pieces like this one that haven't done anything since they came in here. This was a top coating to begin with, so like that's not new. This is so interesting to me. Like, why are so many of these pieces putting out new growth points when they haven't even put out roots yet? I do have a second prop box. Should we check that one too? The Witch watches my prop boxes. This one has pretty much all pieces of Philodendron Brazil. Let's take a lookie. Okay. Oh, I see a root. That's good. Oh my god, there's one root, and it's like... There's no way I'm going to get you to see it, but it's like the tiniest... It's right here by my pinky. The tiniest little nubbin. So there's a root there. But this top doesn't look so good. There's also a root there. Should I just cut this whole top bit off? Yeah, I'm going to cut that top bit off. Lots of roots on this one. Philodendron Brazil root up. I say as I take out one that has like this tiny baby root. Philodendron Brazil root up pretty well for me. This one's got roots in 2 spots, so that one might be actually hard to pot up when the time comes. Interesting. And it's got a little... Can I refocus this, do you think? It's got a little growth point at the top. Right here where my index finger is. And then it's got these roots at the bottom. That's interesting. Okay, so I'm just going to cut the top off this one. And put it back in here. And then put this away. Throw out my little rotted pieces. I had bad news, my friends. Including my younger sibling. There's been a death. Rest in peace, Snelly Furtado.
What happened?
I think she's just old. They're only supposed to live about a year, and I've already had her a year, so she was alive before
Peach
that.
didn't fucking bonk her off of the thing?
I don't think Peach killed her. I think she's dead.
Sometimes she just does that.
I think she died.
Time to get a new snail.
I'm sorry, Snelly.
Peach running into the thing.
Heather, are you gonna be okay? I literally have this thing on no extra weight. Okay, it's a normal 11 pounds, and I'm exhausted. I'm gonna pass away, I think. What might happen? Okay, so I'm just sitting here editing this video, and I knew I'd have to shoot something with photo booth here to wrap it up. But it's just funny because I started this vlog 2 months ago and just kind of kept abandoning it. But now editing it, looking through it, like there are so many little things that are funny now because basically, I'll give you the short version of what happened. I was in my motorized wheelchair, which is behind me, the other day, Tuesday, I think that would have been May 17th. And I went to the bathroom, I wiped my face down with water like I do every morning. I came out here, I went to feed Layton, very routine. I scooped up the cat food out of the cat food bag and I went to pour it in the bowl. And when I leaned forward just the slightest bit to pour it into the bowl, I felt my seatbelt give. And in that moment, like I had time to look into the camera like a cartoon and be like, ruh-roh. And I pulled all my arms in. All my arms, I have 2 arms, but you know what I mean. Pulled my arms in, braced for impact because I was falling forward. And I fell and my whole body weight fell on my shoulder and I hit my head pretty hard. You can't really see much of my goose egg anymore. It's a little discolored here, but I hit my head pretty hard. Like it hit the floor and bounced and everything. So that was great. I did make my mom and my younger sister together call 911 because I was like, this was a pretty big fall and I hit my head. And I know of another woman with my disability who, she would maybe be 20 years older than the age that I am right now. When she fell, but she used to fall out of her chair all the time, but this particular time she fell out of her chair, she hit her head, she didn't go to a hospital, and then she went out for dinner with some friends in Toronto a couple days later, and started feeling unwell, and ended up passing away because she had bleeding in her brain. So now every time I hit my head, I just think about her, right? So I hit my head, went to the hospital. Technically, the way the doctor explained it is that Brain Injury Canada, whatever the association that creates those rules are, say in order to be eligible for a CT scan, you have to have fallen your height plus 3 feet. So for me, that'd be about 6 feet, 7 feet off the ground. I did not fall from that high. If I had fallen from that high, I would probably be dead. You know, he was very understanding. He said when they made those rules, they probably weren't thinking of people with osteogenesis imperfecta. He knew all about my disability. He was great. So he approved me. Dogs are barking. So he approved me for a CT scan. I got x-rays, head is fine, chest is fine. I've just cracked my shoulder blade. So, 6 weeks to heal. I still have, like, use of everything. It's not my, like, shoulder joint, it's just the blade, so it could have been way, 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 way worse. Most of my pain right now is from the muscles in my arm here. They're, like, still not right. Sometimes it feels like I'm wearing, like, a blood pressure cuff or something. But I'll be okay. They're going to take my chair and add more cushion to it, because that was something I wanted done anyway. And I can't use it right now anyway. I'm basically bedbound for probably, like, 2 weeks total, and then I'm going to try using my chair slowly again. My main fear is forgetting I'm injured and, like, using my arm to shift myself or something and turning this crack into a break. That's my main fear. So, as whatever I can do to sort of baby the process until I feel more like I'm healed, I'm going to do. But I also, at the same time, like, want to have a human life. The main thing that I'm sad about, honestly, is that, like, my plants are right here, and I'm in bed right there, and I can't do any of my plant chores by myself. What a cheesy thing to miss. But I just love my plants. Like, why would I have so many plants if I didn't want to play with them? And I do want to play with them, but poor Sam has to do all my plant chores now. Sad times. So yeah, I had my wheelchair people take the seatbelt back to the manufacturer. My main thing is, everyone's like, you should sue. There's only so many Ontario-based manufacturers for wheelchair parts. Like, that's an important thing to remember, is that, like, I'm pretty sure my wheelchair parts are made in Ontario. I don't want to be a person who, like, sues a company and, like, causes them sincere financial difficulty. Maybe they have to shut down, whatever. I would rather them just take the seatbelt back and recall them, or look at all the other chairs that have it. Like, something so that this doesn't happen to anyone else. Like, it could have been way worse, right? Like, I just cracked my shoulder blade. It could have been way worse, but I'm okay. Just make sure this doesn't happen to anyone else. I think about what if it happened if I was on the sidewalk. What if it happened when I was at the mall? I probably would have been okay, but I would have died of embarrassment. Sidewalk, I probably would have actually been seriously injured. Not to mention if I roll onto the road or something. But, the moral of the story is that I'm okay. I won't be able to make a video for a while because I can't lift my camera. So this is the best that you're going to get. So this is a Friday video, and I think I have next Tuesday's video pre-done. And then that's it until I can move a camera again. So I apologize for my absence. It wasn't intentional. I just can't. My joke is that I only have one working limb right now, So we do the best with what we got. So yeah, anyway, another ironic thing was that, this video started with me showing you my cat scratches on this arm, and now this is the arm that's in a sling. It also, included me showing you my Moons Out, Bruins Out shirt, which was the shirt that I was wearing when I fell. Too many coincidence in this vlog for me. Too many coincidence. Anyway, I really appreciate you. Please give this video a thumbs up. Please support my channel in this time of me being unwell. I haven't had a break in a very long time. I am a very lucky cripple. For a Humpty Dumpty-esque cripple who just, like, is supposed to break often, I haven't broken and gone to the hospital and all of that, I think, since elementary school, because Alyssa has never known me to break and go to the hospital, and I've known her since, like, grade 10. So that's a pretty good track record. So hopefully we go for longer this time. Anyway, I love you so much. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time.